What's happening, YouTube? This is Lamari here, bringing you another VGC14 narrated battle from the June International Challenge. So yeah, the competition has now ended. I got a total of 120 battles done through both my cartridges, so I do have a rather big stack of battles saved up that I can upload for the future. So as we can see here, my opponent's team, yes, it is indeed very, if not extremely cheap. But I'm not going to give anything away about this battle just yet, because you'll be quite surprised how the results of this battle actually end up. So as you can see here in my team, I bought Garchomp, Sableye, Rotom-W, and Kangaskhan, and my opponent bought none other than the much hated, the much noob choice of Dark Void Smeagol, Ditto, Conkeldurr, and Liepard. So without further ado, let's get this battle started. But yeah, I think you already know what to expect. Okay, so I lead off. No, sorry, my opponent leads off with Conkeldurr and Liepard, and I will lead off with Garchomp and Sableye. So yeah, so Conkeldurr here is going for Focus Punch. So he's assuming that Dark Void will successfully be pulled off. So here comes the Prankster Assist that is essentially Prankster Dark Void. I don't know exactly. I think I was reading a thread on Nugget Ridge, how it manages to get it every time. But I taunt it, and I protect with Garchomp, so that Conkeldurr won't get its Focus Punch off. So I'm quite surprised not to see the the Flame Orb. But obviously then my opponent also brings in the Ditto. Conkeldurr gets a Focus Punch again. You'd think it would have learnt by now, but no. But I Will-O-Wisp the Liepard slot, so that's a burnt Ditto, which is always beneficial. I go for the Dragon Claw onto the Conkeldurr, and it obviously loses focus. So I think my opponent here is really trying to commit to a troll team, which is kind of sad because, look, I'm ready to protect, or I can attack. And, he can't target the Sableye with Focus Punch, obviously. So his Ditto will go for the taunt, and so yeah, I can't essentially do any taunting or Will-O-Wisp shenanigans myself. So he decides to withdraw the Conkeldurr and goes into... What was he going to? He goes into back into Liepard. Surprise, surprise. So now he's going to burn my Garchomp, but surprise, surprise, I have the Lumberry. So yeah, my opponent just wasted his turn. So let's go for the Dragon Claw, and it's a crit, and it does quite a bit of damage. So I go for the knockoff onto the Ditto slot. So it's holding the Focus Sash, which is quite interesting. I was expecting it to hold maybe the Choice Scarf. I've seen Choice Scarf Ditto predominantly in singles, so especially with Imposter. So interesting to see the Focus Sash nonetheless. So I switch out Garchomp to Rotom, expecting the definitely expecting the Dark Void, and there is a reason for it, as you'll see. So this is Resto Chesto Rotom. So instead of I burn my Resto Chesto, but at least a Chesto Berry will wake me up against this team. So it essentially gives me options here to do what I need to do. Unfortunately, Sableye will be asleep, but at least I've got some form of switch-ins and some options. So Rotom is going to use Protect here, expecting... So yeah, so I'm expecting Assist again. So essentially, yeah, this is a deadweight turn for my opponent. Because I'm already asleep and I'm protected. It's interesting to see what the Sableye will do here. So the Sableye uses Switcheroo. So it will change, it will swap me over to a Choice Scarf on Sableye, and it will obtain my leftovers. So here the Liepard goes with Swagger. And Sableye wakes up, so it gets the taunt off on the Liepard, so that's no more assist shenanigans. And then the Smeagol decides to transform into my Rotom-W. So yeah, I don't attack this turn, fortunately. Hit myself in confusion. The opponent withdraws Liepard and then goes into Conkeldurr. So Sableye goes for the taunt onto the Ditto. I don't want the opponent making use of any, of the specialty moves that I would make use of. So I go for the T-Bolt onto the Conkeldurr, doesn't knock it out. The opponent's transformed Smeagol will go for Hydro Pump, but not doing anywhere near enough damage. I recall Sableye for Garchomp, and yep, my opponent is showing signs of committing to the troll strategy, or the gimmicky strategy at that. Honestly, at this stage, I'm just thinking to myself, my opponent is a noob. Seriously, there's no other way to define it than a noob. And I mean, I did come across more than one Japanese troll team throughout the tournament. So here Ditto come in, and there are now a total of 3 Rotom-Washes on the field. So at this stage, yeah, the Ditto decides to protect, and I just decide, hey, let's Rock Slide just to get damage off from both of them, because the Ditto is severely weakened as it is anyway, and I will target the Smeagol transformation with my Rotom's T-Bolt, and his Smeagol will also return fire with a T-Bolt on my Rotom Wash. So at this stage, I'm just dwindling down their health. They are taunted. I get another Rock Slide off, hoping I get the flinch against such a cheap team, to be honest with you, because the team has cheap written all over it. My Rotom outspeeds obviously the Smeagol transformation. So yeah, that's good for me. It's very beneficial for me. So now the opponent only has the Liepard left, and so I go for Protect, and I believe I went for the double Protect this turn. And yeah, essentially it's just my opponent now just relying on assist. So this Japanese player who's committing to a troll team, who is a very, very big noob, not only for resorting to the use of Dark Void, to be honest with you, because it's been proven numerous times that people can beat Dark Void. Seriously, this is consistent plan style, knowing what to do and knowing how the matchups work. So, yeah, at this stage, Liepard can't even bring it back, but he's going to have to rely on luck of all things to win. So, as you can see, Liepard here will swagger my Rotom Wash. And in this same turn, I think, was it next turn? Yeah, well, Garchomp remains, Rotom wakes up. So, Rotom hits through the confusion, thankfully, and finishes off my opponent. So, that's why I was keeping this on wraps, because I 4-0'd a Dark Void team. So, yeah. Never ever commit to a gimmick. You get 4-0'd. as in the case of my opponent. Committing to Focus Punch when you're going to get attacked, or, you at worst you can use Protect. Really, and yeah, it's not a good team to use. And the fact that obviously he used Dark Void, people are just going to say, yep, cheap. And obviously, through a lot of lead matches throughout the tournament were Kangaskhan and Smeagol using the Dark Void lead. And sometimes you'd be auto loss, other times you'd win the speed tie and take out, and stop the Dark Void use before it happens. With the Kangaskhan at least. But anyways, thank you for watching. So I will have more battles in future, obviously, having quite a few battles saved up. If you would like to challenge me, I'm always open to challenges for VGC14 and some Smogon on the side. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.